Yeah, let's start this movie by kicking out the crying child outside the room and leave him by himself. Look at all those adults in the room and nobody cares about Peter. Unlimited supplies of batteries in a tape player that doesn't break for 26 years, unless Peter has been visiting Earth, but that's not in the movie. Peter pulls an alien rodent out of his sleeve to use as a microphone. This must be a real hit at parties. Powerful stone that can destroy worlds is left behind by whoever was in charge of watching it. And of course, the bad guys arrive to ruin the day regardless of the vastness of space and time. He's walking around with a ball of light that kills on contact. Apparently in the future, light manufacturers are not concerned with product safety. Earlier he used the same device to attract the orb without affecting him, but now it also attracts humanoids. I don't see any do-it-yourself cannon parts here, but don't let that stop them from building one. Glove on, right hand. Glove off, left hand. Glove on, right hand.
Barit.
I can see how that could happen. You have this great night with some girl in a spaceship, then roll out of bed, fly to a planet to get an orb, and completely forget what you did the night before. It happens to me all the time. Also, I don't know how you lock up or break into a spaceship, but wouldn't the bad guys that were hanging around search the ship and find the girl inside? Rocket and Groot just appeared out of nowhere.
Subject 89P13.
Earlier they called him by his name, so no need for introductions. Oh yeah, this is the movie introducing characters to the audience. The text on the left lists his alias as Space Lord, not Star Lord. This is part of a running gag in a film where no one can remember Peter's code name.
A talking raccoon. Old? What's a raccoon? What's a raccoon? It's
What is a raccoon sets the intergalactic cultural reference standards. If space aliens don't know what a raccoon is, then they would also not know what giving the finger is.
Hooked on a feeling. Blue Swede. 1973.
The Blue Swede version of Hooked on a Feeling was recorded in 1973, but only released in 1974. Criminals in a co-ed prison? I'm sure some prisoners would have a lot of fun with that. But then again, Gamora had to stay together with the group. Gamora is behind Peter, but then she just disappears, and the guys don't even wonder where she went either. She has private quarters, while everyone else sleeps like they are having a slumber party. Rocket wakes up with the fur on his right cheek matted from how he was sleeping. In the next shot, Rocket's fur is already groomed.
You know, if killing Ronan is truly your sole purpose, I don't think this is the best way to go about it.
Are you not the man this wench attempted to kill?
Well, I mean,
How could he possibly know that? They didn't tell anyone who they were, but I guess word can travel fast. He throws the gun instead of using it.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with the walking thesaurus on that one.
Do not ever call me a thesaurus.
It's just a metaphor, dude.
His people are completely literal. Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes
But
over
while
my
planning the assault on Ronan, Drax uses the metaphor, I think of the Sakarans as paper people, which is a metaphor.
The Sakaran soldiers inside.
I think of Sakaran as paper people.
The tower has clamps that release the top of the tower. Very convenient design just in case some criminals ever turn off gravity and want to use it as an escape pod. Rocket hacks into the drones and they fly normally, but just a few seconds ago they were floating around when gravity was turned off, even though they were already flying with their jets on. Contrary to popular belief, the human body can survive in space for a few minutes. Here he was about 10 seconds, and he's only half human anyway, so it's not a fail.
She'll make a keen ally in the battle against Ronan. Companion, what were you retrieving? You're an imbecile.
Drax was in prison and never saw a Walkman before, so his proper response should have been, "What is this? Is this a weapon of great power?"
If it's a weapon, we should use it against Ronan.
Put it down, you fool. You'll destroy us all.
Didn't she just say?
I don't know what it is.
And Peter was carrying it around all this time and throwing it around too when they were fighting. So let Drax look at it. Learn how to share, Gamora. But I guess since she was raised by Thanos, sharing was probably not high on the educational agenda.
But first you're gonna tell me what this orb is and why everybody cares so damn much about it.
It seems like everyone in space knows everything except for Nova Corp, who actually had the orb at some time.
There's a legend about people like you. It's called Footloose. And in it, a great hero named Kevin Bacon.
Doubtful that a kid that was kidnapped at a young age would know who's John Stamos or Footloose and Kevin Bacon. If we go by the movie, then Peter was raised by the Ravagers, and I really don't see space pirates spending a lot of time learning about Earth culture. Yet, when these criminals here No one tried to kill them or find out how to get all those units. If she wanted to kill herself, she sure picked a bad way to go about it. That looks very painful.
Yondu! Yondu! This is Quill! My coordinates are 227 K324.
Quill, what are you doing?
Just outside nowhere. If you're there, come get.
It looked to me like there is plenty of space to squeeze in 2 people in the pod. And man, that was super fast space travel. Groot rescues Drax from the yellow slime by poking a hole in his chest, and then there is no sign of the hole afterwards. Yep, this is a Disney movie indeed. Not to mention, this is one weird way to save a person that drowned. Do not try this at home. Thanos is one bad parent. So far, both daughters betrayed him when they had the chance.
You dare to oppose me?
You see what he has turned me into? You kill him, I will help you destroy 1,000 planets.
All pilots, dive! They're beneath us!
Really? She needs to tell the pilots to dive? They can travel the vastness of space, but don't have radar? The plan called for Peter to go inside the Dark Aster after Rocket breached the hole. Then, they should have been with Rocket and not so far away. Why aren't the bad guys shooting the Nova Corp ships from the back? There's no shield there, just engines. As per Ronan, he is the most powerful being in the universe after he got the Infinity Stone, and he just needed to touch the surface of the planet. If that's the case, then he should have caught a ride with these guys instead of barging in with a huge conspicuous ship. Planet destroyed, the end. He could have used his little arrow to kill all of Ronan's army and spaceships. This weapon is clearly overpowered. Whoa, so dramatic. But it would have been much more destructive if the fighters just shot the hell out of the city. How come these guys don't have laser guns but only carry sticks? Again, just because they are dive bombing doesn't mean they couldn't shoot down at the ships defending the city. The ship is made of concrete-like material? Why cut off your own hand? Let Gamora help you, then backstab her. She just blew a hole on the ceiling and jumped up to the flight deck, so what was the point of cutting the power to the security doors? Everyone could have just stayed together and then go up that hole she just blew. When the Dark Aster enters the atmosphere, its wings then twist as it descends. In most of the following scenes, the wings are still fully twisted. Peter's State player still works with no damage to it, even though the ship it was crashed to the ground. I wouldn't expect anything less.
You gotta hurry! The city's been evacuated, but we're getting our asses kicked down here!
This was the worst evacuation ever. While they are trying to hold off the Dark Aster, Rocket tells the Nova Corp that the city has been evacuated. But after Ronan's ship crashes to the surface, there's a crowd gathering around them.
Still illegal.
That doesn't follow. No, I wanted more, sir. You understand? What are you laughing at? Why, I can't have a discussion with this gentleman?
What if someone does something irksome and I decide to remove his spine?
That's actually murder. One of the worst crimes of all, so also illegal.
I can see Rocket joking about stealing something, but I don't think Drax was joking, and if that's the case, then he would not have said what he said, because he knows that murder is wrong since his family was murdered. The voiceover does not match the note she left for Peter.
I know these last few months have been hard for you, but I'm going to a better place, and I will be okay. And I will always be with you. You are the light of my life, my precious son, my little Star-Lord. Love, Mom.
The Awesome Mix cassette tape is a TDK cassette tape Type 2 CDing 2. This cassette tape first came out in 1993, yet the movie started on 1988.
My coordinates are 227 K324.
Well, what are you doing?
Take my hand, Peter.
had a lot of folks try to kill me over the years, I ain't about to be brought down by a tree and a talking raccoon.
Tree? I am no tree.
Subtle. Take it back.
What are you doing?
Hey, when do I start learning to become a master builder again?